stress management tip we're going to talk about today is emotional vampires. You know, we all know about the mythical lore of vampires and the blood-sucking vampires. And according to legend, in order to have them in your life, in order to put yourself in danger, you have to invite them in. They can't just cross your door willy-nilly. They have to accept your invitation to come in. So I was thinking about that and I thought, you know, there's lots of emotional vampires in people's lives too. Those are the people who just suck your emotional life dry. They use you up spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. And that, of course, all takes a huge toll on you physically, on your emotional systems, on your immune system, on your ability to relate to the world in general, because you have no energy left for the world in general. So who are the emotional vampires in your life? Who do you need to start saying no to? Who do you need to set up some really good boundaries with? These may be people who've been there for a long time, maybe even all your life. And maybe at one point you did invite them in. Maybe they were in your life in better form at some time, or perhaps you were just more vulnerable and didn't know how to say no at the time. Perhaps once it was a really healthy relationship with both of you caring for each other and being able to give and take as needed. But now it's evolved into something else, something that isn't healthy. And they are just an emotional vampire in your life. Well, let's see, and with real pretend vampires, the way to get rid of them is garlic and silver bullets and crosses. Well, we're not going to use any of that on emotional vampires. We're going to use good boundaries, knowing when to say no. Maybe even having to jettison them from your life, saying that I can't do this with you anymore. Maybe limiting the time you have with them or the reasons that you're with them. These people can be co-workers, they can be spouses, they can be relatives, they can be parents. Are you an emotional vampire to anyone? Maybe that's something you need to look at too. Are you giving as much as you're taking from some of the people in your life? Now, of course, we all have times when we need more. Perfectly okay to accept help when we're in a really vulnerable situation. And we all have times when we're stronger and we can give more. That's great too. But it's when it's a persistent pattern of a person who has the capacity to do more in your life, who has the capacity to give more or be more equal in the relationship, but just keeps taking and taking and taking and leaving you with nothing. So take a look at that. Set up those boundaries. Learn when to say goodbye to certain people. Learn when to say no to certain people. Learn when to reduce the activity or the time they have in your life. That's it for today. You can manage your stress, and remember, you really are entitled to a better day.